A movie star gets a script and he says, how can I change this script to suit me? A movie actor gets a script and says, how can I change me to suit the script?
For more than 70 years, Michael Caine built one of the greatest careers in Hollywood. He won Academy Awards, starred in unforgettable films, and worked with some of the biggest names in cinema. But late in life, one question made him stop and think. It wasn't, who was the greatest actor you ever worked with? Instead, he was asked, who are the 5 people you love the most in this business? The answer had nothing to do with fame or talent. After decades in Hollywood, Michael had learned that awards fade, careers become history, and even legendary performances are eventually remembered by a new generation. What truly remained were the people who shared the journey, the conversations between takes, the laughter after long filming days, the friends who treated everyone with kindness, whether they were a movie star or a member of the crew. Those memories stayed with him far longer than any trophy. The first name that came to mind was Sean Connery. To the world, Sean Connery was the original James Bond, but to Michael Caine, he was simply Sean. Like many young British actors, Michael admired Connery long before they became friends. Sean had already achieved international success, yet fame never changed who he was. People expected him to be serious and intimidating. Instead, he was warm, funny, and incredibly down-to-earth. Whenever the two friends met, they rarely talked about movies. Their conversations were about family, football, travel, and life beyond Hollywood. Before long, they would forget cameras were even nearby. Michael admired Sean's quiet confidence more than anything else. It wasn't arrogance. Sean simply knew who he was and never felt the need to impress anyone. Hollywood has a way of changing people, but Sean remained the same whether he was accepting an award or sharing dinner with friends. When Sean Connery passed away, the world lost a screen legend. Michael Caine lost someone who had become part of his own life. That was why Sean topped his list. Not because he was one of cinema's greatest stars, but because every time they met, Sean made life a little better. The second name was Roger Moore. Like Connery, Roger became famous for playing James Bond. But Michael believed Roger's greatest role happened away from the camera. Film sets can be stressful places filled with long hours, delays, and endless pressure. Roger always knew how to change the mood. A joke, a smile, or a funny story was often enough to make everyone relax. What impressed Michael even more was the way Roger treated people. It didn't matter whether someone was the director or the newest production assistant. Everyone received the same kindness and respect. Roger remembered names, listened carefully, and made people feel valued. Michael often said that fame reveals a person's true character. Some people become distant. Roger Moore became even kinder. Even during illness later in life, Roger refused to focus on himself. He kept smiling, kept making others laugh, and continued thinking about the people around him. When Roger passed away, Michael didn't first remember James Bond. He remembered a genuinely kind man who made every room brighter. The third person was Laurence Olivier. The first time Michael worked with him, he felt intimidated. After all, Laurence Olivier was already considered one of the greatest actors in history. But instead of acting like a legend, Olivier welcomed him with warmth and respect. There was no ego, no attempt to make a younger actor feel inferior. Working beside him taught Michael one lesson that stayed with him for the rest of his career. Greatness never stops working. No matter how famous Olivier became, he prepared carefully for every scene. Every performance mattered because he respected the craft. Between takes, he surprised everyone with his sharp wit and quiet humor before transforming into another character the moment the cameras rolled. Looking back, Michael admired more than Olivier's incredible talent. He admired his humility, because despite everything he had achieved, Laurence Olivier never forgot how to make the people around him feel respected. That, Michael believed, was the mark of true greatness. The fourth person on Michael Caine's list was a man whose name had become bigger than Hollywood itself, John Wayne. As a young actor, Michael never imagined he would one day share conversations with one of the biggest stars in movie history. To millions of fans, John Wayne was larger than life. But when Michael finally met him, he found someone completely different from the public image. John was calm, thoughtful, and never spoke simply to fill silence. Every conversation felt genuine, and that quiet confidence left a lasting impression. Between filming, they rarely discussed acting. Instead, they talked about family, growing older, and the strange reality of spending decades in the spotlight. Michael admired the fact that John Wayne never tried to create an image. He didn't need to prove he was tough or important. He was simply comfortable being himself. As the years passed, both men came to understand that careers eventually slow down. Awards become less frequent, movie offers become fewer, and the spotlight slowly fades. What remains are the friendships built along the way. When John Wayne passed away, Michael felt that another chapter of Hollywood had closed. But more than losing a legendary actor, he had lost someone whose company he genuinely enjoyed. To the world, John Wayne would always be a legend. To Michael Caine, he would always be a trusted friend. The fifth and final person on his list surprised many people. It wasn't another British actor, it was Shirley MacLaine. From the moment Shirley walked into a room, she brought an energy that lifted everyone around her. She was endlessly curious about people and genuinely interested in hearing their stories. Unlike many celebrities, she wasn't trying to be the center of attention. She preferred listening. Whenever she and Michael met over the years, conversations flowed naturally. They often started by talking about films, but quickly drifted toward family, travel, books, and life itself. Without realizing it, hours would pass. Those quiet moments became some of Michael's favorite memories. He especially admired that Shirley never lost her sense of wonder. Hollywood can make people cynical after years of pressure and competition, but she remained optimistic, curious, and eager to keep learning. She reminded Michael that growing older wasn't about losing excitement. It was about collecting experiences and appreciating them even more. Looking back over more than 70 years in the film industry, people often expected Michael Caine to speak about awards, famous movies, or career milestones. Instead, his thoughts always returned to 5 remarkable people. Sean Connery taught him that true confidence comes from knowing who you are. Roger Moore showed that kindness is more memorable than fame. Laurence Olivier proved that greatness is built through humility and hard work. John Wayne demonstrated the strength of authenticity. And Shirley MacLaine reminded him to stay curious about life, no matter your age. Together, they shaped his life far more than any award ever could. The films gave them a reason to meet. Friendship gave them a reason to stay connected. In the end, Michael realized that success isn't measured by trophies, box office records, or red carpet appearances. Those things eventually become history. But the people who stand beside you through every stage of life leave something far more valuable: their kindness, their loyalty, their laughter. Those are the memories that never fade. Perhaps that was Michael Caine's greatest lesson after more than 7 decades in Hollywood. A remarkable life isn't defined by the roles someone plays on screen. It's defined by the impact they have on the people around them. And that is the legacy that truly lasts. If you enjoyed this story and want to discover more untold stories behind Hollywood's greatest legends, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, stay curious.